Welcome to the Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. In the previous round of the Canadian Rally Championship, the Rallye Defi, the story was all about engines. Crazy Leo Urlicic blew his on the first day, Hugo Desgrenades caught fire, Pat Richard of Subaru Team Canada had to turn the power down and run the heater to manage his engine temps, and Antoine L'Estage took in water on a splash where he lost time and then blew his head gasket. But Richard had further problems with his gearbox, and L'Estage was able to nurse his car to the finish to take his first victory of the year against Richard, who still leads the championship. The two-wheel drive class was equally exciting, with additional engine failures from Saint-Pierre and then from Guité. Martin Walter only had his battery catch fire, but he was able to finish, giving the win to LaRose in his BMW. Paul Hartle managed a fifth to hold on to his championship lead. Now the teams meet just north of Montreal to battle at the Rallye Defi, an event known for high speeds, rough roads, and great spectator stages at night. For anyone who hopes to win the championship, this mid-season event is a crucial turning point, and everyone is going to be pushing to win round 3 of the Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. The Canadian Rally Championship is brought to you by Subaru, confidence in motion, and by Yokohama Tire Canada. Ste Agathe, set in the beautiful Laurentian Mountains 2 hours north of Montreal, is a pastoral landscape and a playground for city dwellers with weekend cottages. And it's also crisscrossed with perfect rally roads, so it's the home of the historic and challenging Rallye Defi. This third round of 6 in the Canadian Rally Championship will be crucial for anyone who hopes to win the championship. Here's current leader, Pat Richard.
Our strategy at this event is to obviously go for the win, but if the win doesn't look like it's in the realm of possibility, I'm happy to settle for second because of the way the championship looks. I've won it 3 times before. All 3 times have been the first time with my new co-driver, so hopefully this is Rob's first time with the event and we'll come out with a win.
After winning the previous 3 consecutive Canadian Rally Championships with co-driver Nathalie Richard and coming off a win together at the Rallye Defi, Antoine L'Estage has a new co-driver here.
Yeah, new co-driver in the car. Carl Atkinson stepped in. Nathalie decided to not come. Just for a personal reason. It was a bit of a last-minute thing. So Carl stepped in with very short notice. I've known him from some rallies in the U.S. and yeah, good guy. So hopefully he'll be able to deliver what I want, and hopefully we'll have a good rally. The goal is to try to win this one, get closer to the first place in the championship.
As the rest of the teams take the start, most of them aren't hoping to beat Richard or L'Estage, but they stand to have a serious battle for 3rd overall and are ready to sweep up if the leaders make a mistake. There's the 3 fast Maxes, Max Riddle from Vancouver, Maxime Labrie from Montreal, and Maxime Lausier from nearby Blainville, Quebec. His older brother Simon is in a very similar car to keep Maxime honest. And Steve Hobbs in the ex-Travis Pastrana Subaru has the potential to take all of them down. All the two-wheel drive teams are singing the same song. It's going to be rough out there. Here's championship leader Paul Hartle.
Some of the stages are really rough, so what we will try to do is really go slow on the rough stages and probably go a little bit faster on the stages where you can go faster, but I think that that's what everybody else will be doing as well. So.
The rally starts out with some of the longest and most challenging stages of the event, and the leaders know that they can't afford to be anything but flat out from the start. Coming off 6 years with the same co-driver, you might expect L'Estage to go a bit easy out of the gate and find his rhythm with new co-driver Carl Atkinson. But both these guys are professionals and waste no time in showing it, winning the first 2 stages by a second per kilometer over Richard, although he's having problems with his brake. Richard gets the brakes sorted out and puts the hammer down for stages 3 and 4, running almost as fast as L'Estage now, but unable to overhaul him to make up the 27 seconds he lost on the first 2 stages. That's a big margin to make up on the reigning Canadian champion, but if anyone can do it, it'll be Richard.
Double times to 4 minus. And 5 left in, 60. Short 6 right, no cut. into 5 left minus, no cut, and 6 right over crest, 20.
Steve Hobbs goes very well at the start also, staying in the top 3 throughout the first 4 stages, and even getting a second overall stage time on stage 2. Maxime Labrie and Max Riddle start a great battle right away, with Labrie taking the first 2 stages over Riddle, but Riddle grabbing 3 and 4. Both drivers are on their game. Maxime Lausier goes very well out of the gate, landing a 5th overall time on the first stage and beating his brother by 13 seconds. But on the second stage, his engine belt comes off and he overheats, and he's out of the rally. Simon Lausier quickly takes up his younger brother's spot. In two-wheel drive, Martin Walter expected to benefit from the turbo power in his Nissan 240 SX, but on the rough roads, he pulls a suspension arm out of the chassis on the first stage. He's able to continue, but with a MacGyver fix of a ratchet strap to hold the hub on. Francois Gauvreau goes out to an early lead in the two-wheel drive class and has to pass the ailing Walter on stage. And it has to crush Walter that his rally is starting out this way. American Anthony Burden in his VW Jetta is going very well and holding second, while Jeffrey Dowell and daughter Emily are showing good speed at this event, looking faster than at Bay. Championship leader Paul Hartle in his VW is making sure to finish. After 4 stages, Antoine L'Estage is leading the field with a 33-second gap over Richard in his brake problem. Steve Hobbs is fastest of the rest, and less than 8 seconds separate Labrie and Riddle in 5th and 6th. When we come back, Steve Hobbs is out to win, but pushing that hard can take you over the limit. Welcome back to the Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. After the first 4 stages, Antoine L'Estage and Carl Atkinson lead the Rallye Defi, and Subaru Team Canada's Patrick Richard by 33 seconds, after Richard had a brake problem on the early stages. The remaining stages on this first day of the rally are all very short and relatively smooth, and will be difficult for Richard to make up time on. In service, the teams review the long first leg and get ready for the night.
Right now we're in second place. We had a bit of a braking problem on the second and the 4th stages where we lost the brakes. So I lost a bit of time in the second stage, but the turnaround I was able to make some repairs myself and with Rob. We'll fix that now, and hopefully we'll be back into the swing of things.
It's going really well. We won all the stages and we built up a little bit of a lead, I think 33, 34 seconds, something like that. So I'm really happy with that. We'll try to just enjoy ourselves for the rest of the evening and give a good show and make sure we don't do anything silly to stay in the lead.
We went too slow, so we lost some time to the competitors. However, we wanted to get here, and that's what happened, and we are here and we are very happy.
Well, everything went wrong. Completely ripped a rear suspension link out of the subframe on the back. Managed to jury rig it, but had to limp through the next few stages. I jammed it back in and used a ratchet strap to sort of hold everything in place. And believe it or not, it actually held.
The 5 remaining stages on the first day of the Rallye Defi are great, smooth roads very near to Ste Agathe, so they're excellent for spectators. They're difficult for teams, though, because the early ones run due west during the sunset, making for poor visibility, and there are plenty of places to make big mistakes. Like this mistake by regional competitors Julien Rondeau and Jonathan Raymond in their Civic. Antoine L'Estage and Carl Atkinson go into these stages with a good lead and just concentrate on not making mistakes. Pat Richard has to get aggressive if he wants victory, but he manages just 1 stage win, and then only by less than a second over L'Estage, who wins all of the remaining stages of the day. The Narini brothers from Ontario seem to like these flat-out short stages and post several top 5 stage times, while Simon Lausier uses his local knowledge to post some good times with veteran co-driver Brian Maxwell and do battle with Max Riddle and Darren Garrod in the Rocket Rally Subaru and Maxime and Robert Labrie in their own WRX STI. But none of these guys is as fast here as Steve Hobbs, who finds himself in a bit of a no-man's land between L'Estage and Richard at the front and the rest of the pack, with consistent 3rd overall stage time. But he's a true competitor and wants to get faster to take on the champions. But as the champions can attest, sometimes getting faster entails growing pains. Expensive growing pains.
J'ai pris ça un peu trop large, j'ai poigné la texture un petit peu plus molle, puis je me suis ramassé dans le fossé. Ouais, on a essayé de trouver l'aileron, mais en fait, quand on l'a trouvé, il était en dessous de l'auto.
And the ever-helpful sweep crews pull out yet another car. With Hobbs out of the rally, Labrie and Riddle take over 3rd and 4th overall as the teams race into the night. But things go bump in the night, like Toyota Yaris's. Here's Eric Deschênes and Catherine Asselin in theirs. They roll right back onto their wheels, and with the help of Martin and Anthony Bruneau to pull them out of the ditch, they're able to continue, losing only 3 minutes. And they only broke their rearview mirror. At the end of the first day of the Rallye Defi, L'Estage has a cool 52-second lead over Richard, with Labrie and Riddle more than 2 minutes back, but having their own contest over 3rd place. In two-wheel drive, Gauvreau in the Fiesta has an almost 2-minute lead over Dowell, who grabbed 2nd place away from Burden on the final night stages, although all of these cars had to pass the rolled Yaris on the final stage. Championship leader Paul Hartle is in a tight battle with Simon Vincent for 4th. When we come back, the rough stages start taking victim. Welcome back to the Rallye Defi. Antoine L'Estage and new co-driver Carl Atkinson dominated the first day of the Rallye Defi, winning 8 of 9 stages over Patrick Richard and Rob Fagg of Subaru Team Canada. Steve Hobbs and Jean-Mathieu Tremblay rolled on the later stages, handing 3rd place to Maxime and Robert Labrie. It's a fresh Saturday morning in rural Quebec as the teams line up to do battle again. 2-day rallies present a special challenge. After a long, hard first day competing, drivers go back to their hotels and sleep. But they can't relax. They have to be ready to start the 2nd day flat out all over again. Because if they're not flat out, their competitors will be. L'Estage and Atkinson are new to each other but are both old pros, and they pick up Saturday where they left off, fast out of the gate. Richard and Fagg in the Subaru Team Canada car are equally experienced, and they're pushing even harder to see if they can make up their deficit from day 1.
3, 2, 1, go 140, crest keep mid, 120, 6 left opens and tightens, keep in, 40 and caution keep right over slow crest and 3 left minus, tightens late half long, opens and 5 left way in over jump, continues over 140 and keep left over crest into 4 right plus narrow and bumpy.
Antoine L'Estage and Pat Richard have been rivals for almost 10 years now. They're both in well-prepared cars, they both know the events in the championship very well, and they both happen to have new co-drivers this year. It's a very fair fight. One guy who comes out of the gate running on Saturday is Max Riddle, who ups his speed and finishes 3rd on the first 2 stages of the day, closing his deficit to Labrie in 3rd to less than 17 seconds. Another guy starts Saturday well, the veteran Jean-Sébastien Besnau, who won this rally in 2001 and has a brand new car here. After a relatively slow start, he's creeping up into top 5 stage times, even taking a 3rd overall. But he says it's a different rally than it used to be.
So it's been already 12 years I won that event in 2001. The biggest difference is the pace note. It's, I mean, very complicated. You need to drive and drive to learn it and to go as fast as possible. So it's probably 3 times faster than it used to be.
Maxime Labrie is in 3rd place, but on the rough 4th stage of the day, he hits a deep hole and gets a flat tire. The team elects to drive it out rather than to take 3 minutes to change it. And while it's the right decision, they lose almost 2 minutes and lose third place to Max Riddle.
We lost everything on the right side beside the suspension, so we had no more brakes, no more drive shaft, anything, so everything just came. So we're able to repair at the end of the stage and limb back to the service, and the guys did an amazing job to repair everything and get back us on the road.
The rough stage also catches Max Riddle, and he has a flat tire. But his flat happens later in the stage than Labre's, and he's also able to drive it out.
6 left plus. 6 left plus, yeah, we're going to put to slow down, Max. Big roll bump, 45 right. Okay, we're nearly at the finish, 3Ks. The 5 left minus tightens.
Max Riddle finds Maxime Labrie parked at the end of the stage trying to fix his car. Now they only have to figure out who lost more time on the stage to know who's in third.
Take it. I'll take it. We'll take it to service.
Riddle's flat does enough damage to his car that the Rocket Rally team has to fix his suspension in service.
So I came into service and the right rear wheel had a lot of damage. I think the control arm broke off the subframe, so the guys have welded it back together and they got the car back all into one piece and we're ready to go.
With 3/4 of the Rallye Defi complete, Antoine L'Estage still holds the lead after winning 3 of the 4 challenging stages on Saturday morning. Pat Richard and Subaru Team Canada are just over a minute back, but are driving safely to protect their championship lead. Max Riddle and Maxime Labrie both have flats in the morning, but Riddle gets off easier and takes over third. When we come back, you don't have to be going around a corner for it all to go wrong. Welcome back to the Canadian Rally Championship on TSN. Antoine L'Estage has been dominating the Rallye Defi, with Pat Richard driving for points and a careful second place. Max Riddle is up to third overall, despite a flat that cost him 40 seconds. Simon Lausier has made no mistakes and is sitting in fourth overall. And Maxime Labrie is down from third to fifth after getting suspension damage from a flat tire. The Canadian Rally Championship is brought to you by Subaru. Confidence in motion. The final stages of Rallye Defi start with a double running of a unique stage that literally ends right into the service area, allowing fans and teams alike to take in the famous tarmac turn that catches many teams out. The challenge here is trying to get everything out of gravel tires on tarmac. Although the Narinis actually have tarmac tires on here when they get into the dirt. The teams pull off the Montpellier stage and into the service area, where you'll find one of the most unusual things about rally racing. It's not just about the racing.
It's still a family thing. It's still something we discuss during family suppers and stuff like that. It's always nice when he's here. My brother was doing some rally too a few years ago. My sister co-drove also, so it's really a big family thing, and it's great. It's such a great sport, and it's our passion.
Okay, so my name is Patrick. I'm the youngest of the group and the upcoming driver of the Lausier family. But they just don't know it yet.
The future of the rally.
Yeah,
he's the one going to push me out and go to switch.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm waiting for you to buy a new car. But
oh, thanks.
I'm his child, you know, and being his child is a great thing because it's a great name in the name of rally. My uncle S. Vincent Stéphane Vincent used to rally also. My grandfather is here today used to do navigational rally. So it's a great story, a great legacy, and I want to continue that legacy in the future.
Simon Vincent is competing in his first national level rally, but his parents were a top Canadian team through the 1990s, and this apple isn't falling far from the tree. On the rough Elmet stage, he takes more than a minute from Paul Hartle to move ahead and onto the podium in two-wheel drive. Martin Walter is 1 point behind Paul Hartle in the Canadian two-wheel drive Drivers' Championship, but his earlier problems are keeping him off the podium. All of the two-wheel drive teams are suffering from the rough roads on the Northern Forest stages today. Paul Hartle blows a rear shock, but is able to change it in service. But the most unfortunate of all the two-wheel drive teams is François Gauvreau, who hits a bad bump and rolls his Ford Fiesta on a straightaway while holding a 2-minute lead in class. Gauvreau's crash and Walter's suspension failure yesterday allowed Paul Hartle to finish third in two-wheel drive and gain valuable points for his championship lead. Simon Vincent gets a triumphant second place for his first national outing. And Jeffrey Dowell once again proves the tortoise over the hare and wins the two-wheel drive class at Rallye Defi.
Thanks to all the guys, the organizers are just fantastic as well. So,
tell us about your result.
I believe that we're, in the first in the two-wheel drive and the first in the production two-wheel drive as well. So we're very pleased. It's been a good weekend for us.
Jeremy Norris of Ontario called on John Hall from Alberta to partner up for this event, and he handily wins the production four-wheel drive class for less prepared all-wheel drive cars.
Really happy. I think we got first production four-wheel drive, and maybe even first in a regional Ontario rally. So really happy with that. Top 10 as well, national. So.
And in the overall competition, Maxime and Robert Labrie, who ran in third for most of the event, end up fifth, thanks to their flat tire this morning and 2 lateness penalties accrued while trying to fix the damage. Simon Lausier once again drives a great race to a consistent 4th place. And 2011 Rookie of the Year, Max Riddle, gets a well-deserved podium after a good fight with Maxime Labrie. And for first place, Patrick Richard still leads the championship for Subaru Team Canada, but brake problems and a conservative approach from Richard at this event allow Antoine L'Estage to take the victory with new partner Carl Atkinson. And L'Estage gets 5 points closer to Richard in the battle for the overall championship.
Win number 7 at Defi, so it's awesome, great rally, very good for us for the championship. Car ran flawless. Carl Atkinson did a great job in the right seat. Thanks to the sponsors, thanks to John. It's just perfect, and we're climbing back in the championship, so that's really good, and yeah, awesome.
So it's L'Estage over Richard at the Rallye Defi, with Riddle in a strong third and Lausier and Labrie sweeping up the top 5. L'Estage's win is another step towards challenging Richard's lead in the championship. For his part, Richard knows that he has to beat L'Estage at least once more this year to take the title. In two-wheel drive, consistency wins the day again. It's the Dowells in first over great newcomer Simon Vincent and co-driver Hubert Gaudreau. Hartle and Story scoop up third, which allows them to hold on to their championship lead, although only 7 points cover the top 3 teams halfway through the championship. The Rallye Defi is a deceptively difficult event to win, requiring teams to be masters on broken tarmac, smooth gravel, and rough goat tracks. It's one of the classics, and anyone at the finish has had to survive and to excel. Getting a podium spot here is as difficult as anywhere in North America. Merritt, British Columbia, over 4,000 kilometers away, is the location of the next round of the championship at the Pacific Forest Rally. High altitudes, unpredictable weather, and precipitous drop-offs await the teams in the next round of the Canadian Rally Championship. See it here on TSN.